This is the first in a series of tutorial videos on using WebPublish, a website and web document authoring tool that is part of the AirSite Cloud Computing Suite. This set of tutorials are for users who want to learn WebPublish in depth to create their own designs and documents. Let's get started. Open the WebPublish application and click New Web Document on the toolbar and enter a name. Since this tutorial is about creating a new design from scratch, we'll uncheck the option to use a web document template. Every web document has a home page. When starting from scratch, this is a blank page. The help text you see here is not part of the home page. Your first step is not to start editing the home page. The first step is to create a template page that will define the overall high-level structure of your site or document. If you're familiar with web design, you can think of a template page as a visual style sheet. If you're new to web design, a template page is just what it sounds like, a page that can be used to stamp out additional pages that will match the look and feel of the template, thus enforcing a consistent look for your document. Best of all, you can later change the template page, and all of the pages created from that template will automatically change to match the new design. Click on the New Page button to create the template page. I like to name the base template page Layout. Open the new page for editing and enable Page Layout by clicking on the checkbox View Page Layout, and then the Use Page Layout button. The Page Layout dialog will appear with options on how to divide the page into content areas. By default, when you first enable Page Layout, the page is divided into two vertical sections. I like to start by dividing the page into horizontal sections to create a central content area. Add another area to the right, so the page is now divided into three horizontal sections. Note that the default method of defining the size of an area is as a share of the available space. So as the browser window size changes, the area size changes. For example, let's set the middle area share size to 5. The size of an area defined with share units is calculated by adding up all of the share area sizes in the subdivided space, and then using that number as the denominator of a share fraction used to calculate the area size. This is probably easier to see than explain. In this case, the three area sizes are 1, 5, 1. So the share denominator is 7, and the middle section, whose share size is set to 5, will be 5/7 of the available page width. Each side area is 1/7. As the size of the browser window changes, each of the areas will size accordingly. You can also size an area using an absolute pixel measurement. For example, let's change the center area sizing to pixels and enter 750. Now as the window size changes, the areas on the sides grow and shrink, but the size of the middle area remains constant. An advantage to using absolute sizing is that it makes it easier to know how your content will appear. For that reason, most websites use an absolute pixel size to define the width of their main content area. We'll do the same for this design. I want the content page to appear as if it is sitting above a background. To create this effect, the central content area will be split to add a small vertical area above and below the main page area. To subdivide the central area, you select the area and then click on Split this area. This will initially split the area into two sub-areas. We'll add another area below. Since we want the content area to be most of the page, we'll change the units for the top to pixels and enter 15, and do the same for the bottom area. Even though we have defined our content area, if we preview the page, it still looks like a single white page. In order to make the content area stand out, I'm going to set an overall background color for the page by clicking on Page Settings in the Edit menu, and in the Page Settings dialog, I'll set the background page color to gray. Next, I'll select the central content area and click on the Area Settings link to set the main content area background color to white. I'll also use the frame option to give the content area rounded corners and a drop shadow. Now clicking on Preview, you can see how the basic page structure looks. We're now ready to convert this page to a template page. First, we must exit edit mode by clicking on Save and return to View. You cannot convert a page to a template page while in edit mode. Display the page list by clicking on the menu item View, Show Page List. Select the layout page and convert it to a template page by clicking on the menu item Edit, Convert to Template Page. Note that template pages have a different icon to indicate that they do not appear anywhere in your website or document, but as their name implies, are used as a template for creating new pages. They can also be applied to existing pages. For example, we can choose the home page, open the page for editing, and click on Edit, choose Page Template, and the home page takes on the look of the layout template page. A very important step to remember when creating template pages is to name the areas of the page you want to be editable on pages created from the template. By default, areas are only editable on the template page itself. This is to help maintain consistency of all of your pages. Select the layout template page and open it for editing. The page layout dialog for template pages has an additional section. The text field is used to name editable areas on the page. For example, we will click on the central area we have set up for content and name that area. Now on pages created from the layout template page, only the central content area is editable. For example, let's open the home page, which is based on the layout page template. As you can see, the central content area is editable. But if I click on one of the side areas, a dialog appears letting me know this area is only editable on the template page. To summarize what we learned in this lesson, always create at least one template page to define the overall structure and appearance of the pages in your website or document. This will help enforce a consistent look and feel to your site. Also, always enable page layout for your template pages to define the structure and styles for the page. Use the Page Settings dialog to set overall page styles like a background color, and use the Area Settings dialog to set styles for sub-area of the page. Finally, only named areas on the template page will be editable on pages created from the template. Congratulations, you now know the basics of creating a template page. In the next tutorial, we'll customize the content area to add a banner graphic and automatic page navigation menu.